Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
An upper limit on what is allowed. He put a ceiling on the number of women who worked for him. Maximum altitude at which a plane can fly, under specified conditions. Meteorology, altitude of the lowest layer of clouds. The overhead upper surface of a covered space. He hated painting the ceiling. A protective covering that is part of a plant. Lie at the top of. Snow capped the mountains. The upper part of a column that supports the entablature. A fruiting structure resembling an umbrella or a cone that forms the top of a stalked fleshy fungus such as a mushroom. A mechanical or electrical explosive device or a small amount of explosive can be used to initiate the reaction of a disrupting explosive. An upper limit on what is allowed. They established a cap for prices. Dentistry, dental appliance consisting of an artificial crown for a broken or decayed tooth. A tight-fitting headdress. A top, as for a bottle. Restrict the number or amount of. We had to cap the number of people we can accept into our club. Something serving as a cover or protection. An upper limit on what is allowed. There was a roof on salaries. A protective covering that covers or forms the top of a building. Protective covering on top of a motor vehicle. Provide a building with a roof. Cover a building with a roof. The inner top surface of a covered area or hollow space. The roof of the cave was very high. Handle and cause to function. Control the lever. Exercise authoritative control or power over. Control the budget. Lessen the intensity of. Temper. Hold in restraint. Hold or keep within limits. Control your anger. A standard against which other conditions can be compared in a scientific experiment. The control condition was inappropriate for the conclusions he wished to draw. Place under restrictions. Limit access to by law. This substance is controlled. Discipline in personal and social activities. She never lost control of herself. Be careful or certain to do something. Make certain of something. Control the quality of the product. Maintain influence over others or oneself, skillfully, usually to one's advantage. She is a very controlling mother and doesn't let her children grow up. The state that exists when one person or group has power over another. Check or regulate. A scientific experiment, by conducting a parallel experiment or comparing with another standard. Are you controlling for the temperature? Great skillfulness and knowledge of some subject or activity. A mechanism that controls the operation of a machine. The speed controller on his turntable was not working properly. Have a firm understanding or knowledge of. Be on top of. Do you control these data? A relation of constraint of one entity, thing or person or group, by another. Measures for the control of disease. A spiritual agency that is assumed to assist the medium during a séance. Physiology, regulation or maintenance of a function or action or reflex, etc. The timing and control of his movements were unimpaired. Power to direct or determine. Under control. The activity of managing or exerting control over something. The control of the mob by the police was admirable. The economic policy of controlling or limiting or curbing prices or wages, etc. They wanted to repeal all the legislation that imposed economic controls. Verify by using a duplicate register for comparison. Control an account. Elevation, especially above sea level or above the Earth's surface. The vertical dimension of extension. Distance from the base of something to the top. Of a standing person, the distance from head to foot. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. At the height of her career. Angular distance above the horizon, especially of a celestial object. Elevation, especially above sea level or above the Earth's surface. The altitude gave her a headache. The perpendicular distance from the base of a geometric figure to the opposite vertex, or side if parallel. The side that is uppermost. A ceiling based on attitudinal or organizational bias in the workforce that prevents minorities and women from advancing to leadership positions. Altitude above which a plane cannot climb faster than a given rate. Altitude above which a plane cannot climb faster than a given rate. The maximum altitude at which an airplane can maintain horizontal flight. Computer science. The processing time required by a device prior to the execution of a command. The expense of maintaining property, e.g., paying property taxes and utilities and insurance. It does not include depreciation or the cost of financing or income taxes. A transparency for use with an overhead projector. A hard return hitting the tennis ball above your head. Computer science. The disk space required for information that is not data but is used for location and timing. Nautical. The top surface of an enclosed space on a ship. Located or originating from above. An overhead crossing. Space for movement. Room to pass. Live and take one's meals at or in. She rooms in an old boarding house. An area within a building enclosed by walls and floor and ceiling. The rooms were very small but they had a nice view. Opportunity for. Room for improvement. The people who were present in a room. The whole room was cheering. An interior passage or corridor onto which rooms open. United States chemist who developed an economical method of producing aluminum from bauxite, 1863 to 1914. A large entrance or reception room or area. A college or university building containing living quarters for students. United States child psychologist whose theories of child psychology strongly influenced educational psychology, 1844 to 1924. A large and imposing house. An interior passage or corridor onto which rooms open. The elevators were at the end of the hall. English writer whose novel about a lesbian relationship was banned in Britain for many years, 1883 to 1943. The large room of a manor or castle. United States astronomer who discovered Phobos and Deimos, the two satellites of Mars, 1829 to 1907. United States explorer who led 3 expeditions to the Arctic, 1821 to 1871. A large building for meetings or entertainment. A large building used by a college or university for teaching or research. Halls of learning. A large room for gatherings or entertainment. Lecture hall. Predicting what the weather will be. The earth science dealing with phenomena of the atmosphere, especially weather.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.